Oh, hello. And we're back with Relegations for DPL. Sorry, trying to test my mic real quick. Hello, hello, hello. I mean, that seems fine. Um, Don Boy, what's up? Are you playing in a game? Oh, so you want to cast? Let's go. Oh, actually, do you know Sir Front's there? Cause oh, never mind, never mind. He's in there now. He's supposed to be casting for the other game. Yeah. All right.
Looks
Oops.
like he's in there. That's good.
Yeah. Now the stream can hear you. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, I also feel like it should be obvious, but no cheating. Um, if you're spectating the match and your teammates are in that match,
hmm
no cheating.
So which match is this? Are we doing the
Not,
DPB one
yep.
or the Mollis matches?
Nakudama
Oh, we're doing
versus
DPB.
DPB.
Cool.
Interesting enough, I had you on my casters. See? All right. There we go.
I didn't know if I was gonna be able to cast, but I'm available right now, so might as well.
Yep. All good. So this is the relegations round one, and this determines which two teams will get into Upper League next season for season 5 of DPL.
hmm
And it's been quite a journey for these teams. Organized Chaos versus Mollusk Munchers. The Mollusk Munchers came in from the qualifiers. Organized Chaos was the #1 team in lower league Swiss. And on the opposite side, we had Quackudama. Is that your guys' team name, or is it still Nakudama? What?
I think Quackadama is kind of a meme, but you can
Okay,
probably do either one.
that's what I assumed. But you guys have kept it on for so long, so I can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's actually what Verily used to call the team. Like whenever we would do a scrim or a game, he would just type in Quackadama as the team name. So when we're thinking of like a rebrand for the team, that's what I proposed, and we stuck with it. So it's pretty good.
mm, yeah. Seems like the teams are in game. But I was gonna finish Nakudama versus Dupros's Baddies. We had Nakudama, second top team in lower league Swiss, going against the second qualifier team that was able to make it out. Um, Pretty sure Organized Chaos chose Munchers over DPB. I'm not sure why, but that is the choice they made.
hmm Yeah, well, we're gonna get into this game with DPB and Neck. We're starting on a bank map with the is DPB on attack or defense? I didn't tell.
DPB
Didn't see.
is on defense.
Defense. Okay. So DPB with 6 attack, Neck with 6 defense.
Yep, that is true. And we're starting off with this bank here, and we have this interesting vault that is connected to the security, and then that makes it for a lot of tight corners, especially in that late game. If that button is hit, you're going to have a lot of close quarter combat. I wonder if DPP is going to stick people in vault just so they can have another foothold on the objective. But this would be an interesting one to see. But it seems like Nakudama looking to go for a green entrance split, which isn't horrible at all. It just depends on what type of control they want to get. Do they want to get accounting to prevent that long range hold onto security? Do they want to take lobby and just push straight for the bomb through security? Who knows?
Hmm. Yeah. I wonder if Mac will keep this door open and play that, maybe like get a barb here and then just play that long. Seems like a pretty strong angle.
Yeah.
Or
Which?
at DPB, I mean.
Oh, obviously you're biased, but do you think Nakudama can win this out?
I don't know. This map is an interesting map, and I think this map defenders can win it if they play it right. But this bank map, like all the stuff you really need is like concentrated over here, lobby side. So you don't really need to worry about the rest of the map as much. But if you play this bank right, I think attackers stand a chance. I don't know if they'll do that though. Looks like they have people going entrance. Seems like that's likely to play. Wow.
Default able to take down Nomad with the opening pick with the Saber. Green push starts to come in as flashes come out. Ooh, Sweet Tea able to take down Baker. Kamina comes in, gets the trade onto Sweet Tea. Midship War still in the back of the lobby here with that auto shotgun. Could be able to do a devastating amount of damage as Frosty and Health start to make their way in loans. Kamina down in hall. They seem to be clearing this hall. They seem to know it's clear. And 2 defenders still in accounting here as Midship War is trying to go for a long range auto shotgun onto a Kamina, but does not work out as that button gets hit. And now it's a 2v4 situation. Rachel insecurity, seeing that there's 2 people in lobby, and now Racing Incarnate also coming in. They've got that vault control. Frosty's taking that accounting control. Soon there will be just a small piece of land that these defenders will be able to move around freely. And 4 flashes still available for the attacking team. That's 1 down. 3 flashes left. Rachel trying to go for aggressive play. Unable to get it as he gets taken down by Health, but gets traded out by Racing Incarnate. 1v3 situation. Now flashes come out. Not a great flash, but it's a 1v3 situation, and no trades for Racing as he gets taken down by the auto shotgun. His teammate left.
Midship got very unlucky there. He was in this spot, and then as default was right in the corner, he switched over here, which would have been pretty good. But then Kamina happened to go back and see him, which was just very unlucky. Nothing we could really do about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's personally a bad spot for the auto shotgun.
Yeah.
Usually you want to play those in doorways, and even putting it close to the red door here would have been a lot more effective, I feel like. Attackers will usually flash deep because they don't expect someone to be that close, and auto shotguns can really do a lot of damage when you're in that close proximity rather than trying to take the long angles. If Midship was going to commit to that spot, he should have just kept playing that corner instead of wide peeking the open area, which is not a great recipe for an auto shotgun.
You could also play the auto shotty in security or that accounting door around the door and rush in security. It's a pretty close area that they have to go through. So Knack takes the first round. See if they keep it up, or if, maybe DPB brings it back in these next 2 defense rounds.
Yeah, and it's 1-0 for Nakudama. A good start for them. They didn't lose too many players, and they were able to keep it going. I'm sure the morale's high. DPP still trying to find their groove right now. I think it's a very common theme for many DPL teams is like the first game is always a warm-up game because this game is a lot. I guess not warm-up in terms of like aim and guns, but like warm-up with your team, communication-wise, strat-wise. There's a lot of factors that go into winning a round in due process. At least I think so.
Yeah. The mental game is a huge part of it. You really have to be ready for the game to even start playing it.
Yeah, now we're on the C-store now, and reminiscent of the old C-stores, I suppose. The bomb is in storefront, but there's a lot more cover. Fridges very just kind of splits that storefront in half with the line of sights at least. But it looks like Nakudama, having used 1 charge that last round, they're going to still opt to use that wall charge. And it seems like they're just going to single charge this and save 1 for the next round, which I believe was Kale House. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. But it looks like they have a lot of pings set up, and they have a very good idea of what they want to do here. DPB, on the other hand, looks like they are sort of spread out. A tub on Racism Incarnate. I disapprove, but maybe he can make something work on that storefront long range-ish.
Might have been a bet. I don't know. Tub is a very interesting weapon.
I know you're a tub advocate yourself.
A little bit. I'm not very good with the tub, but I've seen people play it. It's a whole different kind of play style. You have to play with it.
Yep. The attacking team. 5-man storefront, outside storefront here. Molly comes out from Rachel. I think actually Sweet Tea also used his molly as well. 2 stacked mollies, not usually a good efficiency use. But flashes come out. GF Rachel able to get a kill on health through the telehole. Flash is still coming out as they take Fridge's side. Rachel still trying to do a damage. Mischief going for a wallbang. Doesn't seem to hit anyone. Nomad gets taken down in Freezer by Frosty. Frosty not unable to see Sweet Tea though. As Sweet Tea able to get that kill, but gets traded out by Baker. Baker able to get another one onto Racem. And Tellerhole is able to get Rachel as default snipes that person. And now 1v3 situation for Midship Walrus. He's stuck in an arcade here, and they should know he's in arcade. He was wallbanging from arcade earlier that round. But they are still wary of Freezer and that Teller as they still looking around. Turns off that lights for security here as Midship will be peeking into the abyss. Still going for that wallbang. And attacking team able to get the defuse, forcing Midship to push out, and Baker takes out Midship Wars.
Very good pick from Rachel at the beginning. Very good use of the Teller hole.
Yep. I think, yeah, the defense played it all right. They were peeking non-stop, trying to divert the attackers' attentions into multiple directions. I think the biggest problem was that they weren't playing angles where they weren't exposed, I feel like, because a lot of them got picked off because they're in the wide open. They weren't playing into areas where they could easily go back to cover after peeking. That person Fridges was stuck in that corner. All he could do was get a 1-for-1 and can't do much more than that. And if the attackers were playing it correctly, he probably shouldn't have even gotten that one if they flashed right on top of him. But yeah, good job on Nakudama, able to make that attack round work.
Yeah, they hadn't set themselves up in a position that was advantageous for the wall charge and store farm. Like they were in freezer or they were in back fridges, and they could have been playing more aggressively in the right places to get those picks early.
Yeah, now we're moving into the final round of the split on Kill House.
Yep.
I think this is an interesting map because you have long lockers, and the bomb is just sort of in the middle of that long lockers. So it always ends up turning into an aim battle because you can't really flash deep enough to do enough flash effectiveness. But yeah, usually on defense I opt to prefer very aggressive on this map because if the attackers get so much area, it ends up being very hard to defend.
Yeah, it looks like the attackers still have both of their nades, so they're gonna try to make use of those.
That's always good to have as attacker, but if they're going, they're just going to. Oh, it seems like they just want to eco into checkpoint and then try and get to kitchen, then use the door charge on the green door, which is effective, mainly because you can get rid of the barb as well as do damage 3 tiles away, whereas a nade is more like you use it to kill a barb. It won't do as much damage as a door charge. And another thing about the nade is once you throw the nade, you can't push through the nade, but after you do a breach charge, you can go straight through the breach charge because the explosion already happened. The nade, you have to be delayed, and the defenders will know that nade has a fuse time, and there's a lot of delay that allows defenders to get ready to pull a molly and such like that.
Yeah, I think if they charged this kitchen door, it would be kind of a choke point. They'd get wall bangs, and it would be hard for them to get in the kitchen. And then once they got in the kitchen, they'd have to get through this door, and that'd be a huge hurdle for them. So this might be a smart play.
Yeah. As you see, attackers are shooting out those windows because they know the UAV can help them as a 5-man push through checkpoint. Defenders, I don't like this. They don't have any presence in hall at all, not even to shoot a little bit and back up, because there's plenty of time and space to rotate out if you need to. But interesting enough, the mop player has the molly. He's playing front line. Molly comes out as attackers still 5-man in this cramped, tight hallway. Molly comes out. It's just a stall time. Doesn't really do much. As Rachel becomes the last line of defense now as he rotated across the whole map. Wallbangs come out and UAV kills Sweet Tea. Frosty peeking a window, able to take down the mop player on Rachel. 5-man and kitchen now as a 3v5 situation for the defense. Very slow and steady the attackers taking, trying to make sure every move is meticulous. As door charge comes out, Flash has gone close, and now it turns into that gunfight I was talking about. 5v3, 5v2 trench warfare. Walrus gets taken down, and Racing gets taken out. Now just Nomad here. And Health gets taken out by that Molly. Nomad is able to pick out. 1v3 situation, 1 HP, and Nomad gets taken down by default.
Good try by Nomad, though. Getting those picks at the end. Yeah, that door charge was very effective. They blew up the barb, and then they just rushed immediately and were able to bombard the defenses of Midship, Nomad, and Racism.
Yeah, and once you saw that door charge go off, you saw all 5 attackers push in, and they all lined up like it's an execution squad. Everyone lined up, shot down through the lockers, the entire locker's length, and it was awesome to watch. But now it's 3-0 for Nakudama as we move into the 4th round of this best of 3 series.
Starting off strong in the first set, but we're on to a switch. So maybe DPB will be stronger on offense this time.
Yeah, and with a side switch, you come a lot of different strategies being swapped over. I know when I play the game and I switch sides, you have to switch a mindset as well. It goes instead from holding viable positions to finally thinking of good strategies to push instead, and that could be very good for a team or very bad for a team depending on if they're better on one side or better on the other side, stuff like that.
I think most people in general prefer to play on defense. It's generally more exciting than offense, because offense doesn't have a whole lot of variation in how it's played. I mean, like, yeah, you can even make a plan and stuff, but it's very standard most times. So I think a lot of people like defense more.
Yeah, I think that's usually the community's consensus as well. Defense is cool too, because I think mainly because it has a lot of different weapons. Because there's a weapon meta on defense, while in attack it's just like, you take AP or do I take Black Tar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having so many different guns on defense makes it just exciting every round. You get to pick where you're gonna play, how you're gonna play it, what gun, what range, and every gun is different to play, so you can always have exciting weapons.
Yep. And as round is about to start, it seems like the defense is very wary of this security, and the attackers as well. They have a nade place for that area for that barb, and their strategy seems to be similar to the ones Nakudama did on this map. Is blow that entrance, split green, and try and take all that area. And the defense are playing it very differently though. They're keeping Kamina in that vault, default staying in that security, and 2 people in teller. So there's gonna be a lot of presence on this lobby, but it's a one side presence and not a cross going. Frosty with that tub too in accounting for. It's gonna be interesting to see if he gets a kill there. Flash comes out for the attacking team. 2 flashes there. They clear entire lobby. Teller guys not really making any presence though, and now that they're about to get pinched in here. It's gonna be interesting to see if they get a kill. Health gets taken out by Sweet Tea. Now it's just Baker and Teller able to get Rachel though, still alive here, as the attackers are swarming around him like bees, and Baker gets taken out by Midship Wars through the Teller window. Now a 3v4 situation. Vault gets hit. Now 2 defenders in that vault. The attackers are in security. Kamina ready to throw that molly, as that barb is an indicator of whether they're coming through. 3 mollies in this vault. They could use a lot of time. Midship gets through. Frosty able to get that tub kill onto accounting player, and default gets taken out by Midship, but Midship is traded out by Kamina. Another molly goes through. Now a 2v2 situation. Frosty's still in accounting, but he seems to be making his way to security as he knows his teammate needs help. Kamina is 1 HP. Frosty still at 75. Frosty trying to get some damage through, but Kamina gets taken out by Racism as both attackers are now in vault. Frosty pushing with his tub, able to take down Racism. 1v1 situation now. What will happen as Nomad pressures that bomb, and Frosty able to get the kill with 15 HP. What a clutch for Nakudama.
Actually, a very good play by Frosty. I'm surprised that he was able to make something out of that tub. He got 3Ks from that. That's
yeah,
really
I
good.
mean, I was doubting him earlier in this round. I was like, okay, maybe I don't think he's gonna get a kill.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. Once once the midship got in with the nade and then picked off someone, I thought that was gonna get two defenders, and it got one damaged Common quite a lot, and then Frosty was offside with the tub, so I thought it's a win for DPB, but didn't shake out that way.
Yeah, I think the attackers really messed up there because they didn't need to push accounting at all because accounting doesn't give you control of the bomb. Security does, and you can get that easily from lobby. The spot you use the red or charge to get to. No need to expend that extra person to go through go through and take an unnecessary land, I suppose. But yeah, defense played it well. I mean, it was very close. I think attackers had that in the end, but they just let Frosty get too close and able to take down one by one.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're on C-Store. But this time, the sides are swapped.
Yep. I also think that smoke did not help the attackers there. I don't know if that was Frosty who threw it or if it was one of the attackers, but that did not help them.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but that was interesting to use the smoke in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, we're on a C-Store. We often use 4 barbs, it looks like. Or one here, I guess.
Back when I started playing the game, Nakudama would always, or I guess it was Genesis, or I mean, I guess Genesis and Nakudama were different teams, but back when my day, Genesis and Nakudama were kind of the same, because they always played together and stuff like that. But Genesis would always do a teller wall charge play, and I thought that was kind of dumb because all you gotta do to defend against that is defenders have to hit the lights when they blow the teller, and all you have to do is hold 2 points of entry, and their doorways too. So I don't know. Usually I don't like these type of plays, but it looks like DPP will be going for that teller wall charge.
Mm-hmm. It could work to some avail, but if they get stopped at storage, it could make this push way harder. But it looks like they might have an easy path to get to the teller.
Yeah, because the defense just not showing aggression. They're just giving free storage, free office now too. Nobody's playing in there.
No, just common and bathroom. Like it wall banged. Common very, very low. Barbs that bathroom teller door.
Oh no. I mean, it gets taken down by the wall charge, and now attackers swarming the area. And they do hit the lights in time, I think. And now they can hold this storefront with a lot of safety, as that outside storefront is not open. So, yeah. Flashes come out. Mob kills Sweet Tea through the telehole, and Racing McCartan gets taken out by Health. Defenders able to bring this back. 4v3 now. 3v3 now, as Default gets taken out by Rachel through the telehole. Attackers pushing through arcade. No match shotguns arcade, but not with Midship, though. As he gets taken out by Frosty, and then he gets taken out by, and then Midship gets taken out by Frosty as well. And now a 1v3 situation for Rachel. Rachel able to get 1 on Frosty, but gets taken out by Baker. As Nakudama 5-0 now.
I don't really know what happened. I would expect if they were gonna do a Shutters play that they would have Saber outside to play off that, but it doesn't look like they did that. They had all 5 inside. So I wonder what the point of teller would be there. The teller hole wasn't on the bomb. They could open the door to be on the bomb like the defenders could, but I think if they took arcade and freezer, it would have helped them much more to defuse than they tried to take teller.
Yeah, and the exact thing I said that I didn't like about that plan happened, and defenders were wary of it, and they hit the lights before they could hit the button, and that basically made the attackers lose all control they had. They had used their charge. Their plan was foiled. It was exposed way too early.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
they were forced to go arcade, and then they were picked off by a crossfire.
Yep, it doesn't work. I mean, DPP has to find a way to try and crawl their ways back into this game. If they lose this round, they have to tie. If they and then they lose the next round, it's going to be on to the second game. 1-0 for Nakudama.
Yeah, it's a good start for Nak. I don't know if they've warmed up yet or if they're just in the right mindset, but they certainly on it right now. But doesn't it looks like they're gonna have auto shotty. Defender's gonna have auto shotty in kitchen, barb these points of entry, and just kind of hold this half of the map, uh, and then let the attackers have some of this.
Yeah, I kind of
That
like
seems like what
this
the plan
because
is.
Nakudama, they're playing a lot more aggressive and with the right weapons. Because previously you saw Rachel was in the front in kitchen with a molly when really he should have been in the back
Mhm.
going for shots. But playing on the mob aggressively isn't horrible.
Ooh,
You do need to get those shots off in in different situations, but playing on the auto here super close, and all these defenders are playing around
yeah,
green here, and you can see
this
they
is
brought
this is
both
interesting.
power weapons too.
With where these barbs are, I would expect them to play, or there's gonna be one in here, brick house, but I would expect them to play back on site, but they're all playing on the other side of these barbs out here, playing super aggressively near the doors.
Yeah, and
So
default gets the first pick onto Racing McCartney with a mop. And he gets
let's see it.
another pick on a sweet team. I like this type of play with the mop, and Frosty able to get midship as well. And now attackers have been crippled so heavily here, as now it's a 2v5 situation. Nomad and Rachel, they're backing up. They want to get space. Their teammates have fallen to that extensive green hold from the defending team.
It's like defenders are hesitant to peek, knowing that there's Saber outside. Apply the smart play. They're just gonna hold the door so that if the attackers try to get in, they'll get swamped. But if they just stay out, the attackers should be fine.
They've gone close. Nomad gets taken out by default. And then Rachel gets crossfire between Frosty and Kamina.
I think it was a good attempt. I just don't think they were prepared for such a hard green
Yeah.
hold. I think they were more expecting to be able to get in easily, and then the real challenge would be over near the site doors instead of near the entrance, which isn't too unreasonable. It's what DPB did on defense. They held more site side, so it's not unreasonable to assume that Nakudama would do the same thing.
Yeah. And that's another thing is when you're planning, you're always thinking about how you played that, and you're trying to assume that they're going to do the same thing that you did. So you try to find a way to beat that, and the oversight was that they forget about things like using smokes to cover off things, and I know a lot of teams, especially in lower league, they don't use smokes when
Hmm.
you can use you can use at least one smoke per round. So I mean, keep that in mind, and then you use that smoke for cutting off long range engagement instead of using that smoke. And I don't know who did it, but in that vault round, they use a smoke for close range, which is kind of dangerous. Gives
Hmm.
the defenders cover that they did not have. But yeah,
Yeah, and I
now
know there's
back to
some kill house maps that really require a smoke on the reception. Like there'll be a kill house where it'll be like has this and then has like a little bit of reception that sticks out, so defenders can shoot out with Mop or Legro or
yeah.
Swingmar, and you need a smoke to smoke that off if you want to push up there.
Yeah, any good defending team will use that reception to get that early peek off. Because on defense, it's not. People like to think that defending you have to be in the building to defend. You have to wait for them to enter the building to defend the building. But really, on defense, you can do a lot of different strategies, and I like to call it spawn trapping, because you know where the attackers spawn. They spawn in the van, and they can go two ways from the van. And if there's angles onto those both ways, you can 100% certainly know which side they're going. That gives you info, and you can 100% try and get damage on both those sides at the same time.
Hmm. Yeah, and there's also a misconception that you have to be on the bomb site almost at all times, or have a large amount of your team on the bomb site, which is not how it should be really, because then you're congesting your team near the bomb. You're not giving them enough space to roam around the entire map. So you want to really have freedom of movement around the map, so that you can catch the attackers off guard.
Yeah, and the round is starting as Mischief picking up two smokes here
Hmm.
as he leaves that van, and I'm just interested to see how he makes that work. And
Yeah, I don't.
so what's the? Oh, it seems like they're gonna wall charge Doc here.
So maybe a smoke off this, maybe a smoke down walkways.
Maybe. I mean, I might use it for close here. Look at all these angles the defenders have. Default has one. Baker has one. Elf has one. Kamina has one. Even though he has the auto shotgun, but. And Smoke does come down close. 2 smokes close. And attackers would make it in, but Health able to take down 1 as Racing gets taken down. Baker gets taken down by a pinch with Nomad. And now a 3v4 situation. 3v3, or, I mean, oh my god. 3v4 situation for defenders as Kamina gets taken down. Frosty gets taken down as well. 2v4 now. Bishop still holding down that defuse, and he will be able to get to 100 there. Nomad gets taken out by default, alone in office with the mob. And he's able to take down Sweet Tea with the LS. 2v2 as 10 seconds remain in the round, and which team will be able to finish each other off. Attackers need to get that clacker back if possible. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, and Bishop is able to get that clacker back. And
Wow,
DPP get their first round.
That was an incredible play. That was very impressive. I didn't even notice the bomb was being defused. I'm a spectator. Wow. That was very, very good play from DPP. I don't know how they switched it up there, but whatever they did, it was working. So keep that up. I think one thing they could have done a little better is not have Rachel push up so far. I noticed he was quite far in the map when he should have been really sticking outside a little more. And maybe that would have led the attackers not getting picked off as much. But it worked out in the end, and they kept Saber and Clacker, so it was no fault to them.
Yeah, and DPP finally get a round, and I wonder what they're thinking right now is like, okay, we have a chance now. Maybe we can bring this back. But every time, I don't think I've ever seen a comeback from 6-0. I mean, I think I've done it once, and that was in like a scrim, which doesn't have much value. But, oh, actually, we've actually done it we've actually done it against Nums in an official match as well. But yeah, it's really hard to do because you always have this thought in your mind like, okay, well, we just need to lose 1 to lose the game, so we can't make a single mistake here. And with that sort of pressure, it's always hard to win constantly.
Actually, the same thing happened at NAC, and not with the. Oh yeah, the same thing. So it was the NAC versus Mollusk Munchers game, and NAC had won 6 straight rounds in a row, and they lost 6 in a row.
I actually heard about that. Yeah, that was.
I was playing that game. It was terrible.
Well, how did it feel?
It was pretty bad. Like by the 3rd loss in a row, we knew it was not going well, and it was kind of hard to bring your morale back up when you've been losing like 4 games in a row when you think you should have won by now. So it's just very difficult. And then we just kept losing. Once you start losing all those games in a row, it can be hard to stop it.
I've been on the other side, and it feels amazing. Like it feels like things weren't going right, and then you flip the switch, and then instantly everyone is cheering, getting out of their seat for each win. They're like, okay, we can do this. It's awesome. But yeah, now we're in Dome. Round is starting. Defense playing heavy on this red door in jungle. But as they realize there's a whole bunch of people coming, they all back up, trying to get longer range play, anti-flash. Frosty under bridge here. Default able to get a take off the Sweet Tea, and Frosty gets his own on Midship. Nomad pushes up towards Default. Default's already blinded and taken out. But Frosty able to get another one on Racism. Rachel gets caught on a crossfire. Nomad drops down, tries to get Frosty, but Frosty's hitting him with the jukes. But still gets taken out by Nomad. In a 1v3 situation, and DPP lose the game as Kamina takes the final kill.
That was an excellent position from Frosty under the bridge, able to fire up and catch them when they ran down off the side. So very good position.
Yeah, very sneaky, and it pays off. And I don't think DPP were clearing their corners correctly.
No. But it looks like they were going to try to rush the site through jungle. They weren't trying to clear everything out super clearly. They were just going to rush to the site, rush to the bomb, try to do what they did the match before, which actually worked out for them in that match. But I think quite worth like that.
Oh, yeah, and that concludes the first game, 7-1 for Nakudama. And let's see if the team wants a break. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that so devastating in a difference in the score. I'd always
I
assumed
don't.
DPP was a team that played a bunch, a lot more than a normal
Mhm.
team, but it seems like that practice isn't going into account. But it seems like they're going to queue again, or DPP is ready to queue. I'm not sure about Nakudama.
I've heard that DPP does a lot of scrims in the weekend, but not so many on the weekdays. Uh, so I was actually playing in a scrim with them earlier, and played against Frogs. Did pretty well. Uh, so I don't know. Doesn't I don't think they scrim too often, but on the weekends they do a lot of scrims.
Yeah, still waiting on Nakudama. But yeah, if Nakudama wins this series, they will be one of the teams going against the upper league teams. And
Mhm.
Gnomes versus Rise, or Gnomes and Rise, I mean, they won't be going against each other, but they'll be going against one of these teams that win. And the other match that's happening right now, OC versus Mollusk Munchers, who do you think will win that?
OC versus Moss Munchers? I think OC would take that. I know in the past I haven't I didn't think that highly of OC, but after seeing them play recently, they've really gotten pretty good. I'll say that. They're definitely they could contend for an upper league spot.
Yeah, and they also chose Mollusk Munchers too. So I would assume they had a reason to choose them, and they want to win. So that would be interesting
Mhm.
to see. But moving on to the second round, what would you think? Who do you think Gnomes is going to pick if Nakudama and OC win?
Um, I think I think Gnomes would pick OC. That's what I've been hearing. I heard that if if Knack and OC won their games, then it would probably be Rise versus Knack and Gnomes versus OC. So I'd probably stick by that. I don't think that's too unreasonable of an assumption. But I don't really know what information that's founded from.
Hmm. Yeah, I think. Uh, I don't know. It's hard to tell because OC did do better in the lower league Swiss, but it was only by 1 point, and Nakudama did fumble that 6-0. So I don't know. I think OC and Nakudama are similar in skill. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I think they are pretty similar. They're not like I wouldn't say one of them is like an upper league team, the other one's like a lower league team. They're both pretty on equal footing, like pretty strong on equal footing. So they're both can contend for that upper league spot.
Yeah, and I know Gnomes has been doing very, very under average for their usual performance. Um, I think that's what put them back into the relegation pool.
Mhm.
And I don't know, their performance is kind of staggering, and I don't know. It's hard for me to tell because I don't know any of these teams really that well. Rise is also an X factor because they changed so much in roster, and I know Merchant just left, and I have no clue what's going to happen to that team. But
Merchant already left.
or I thought he did, or maybe it was a joke.
I heard Merchant was gonna leave. Oh, is he talking about reforming Katera?
Yeah, I think that
I heard
he
Merchant was gonna leave after the season. Um, I
yeah
don't know how
leave
true that
Rise
is.
after the season. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Are you guys streaming the Knack match or no?
Yep.
Yeah.
You are? On what account? I'm not seeing it.
Uh-oh. On the Due Process League Bravo Twitch.
Are you guys live? Because I was looking at due
It
process,
should be.
like, process category, and I wasn't seeing it.
Oh, I probably didn't put it on the Due Process category. I should probably do that.
Oh no. All right, yeah, but I do see you guys are live. Okay, cool. I'll hop that open. All right, I'm gonna go back and do my thing. All right,
Okay.
Right.
later.
As long as the video is saved and you can watch it after, it's all right.
Yeah. I do want it in the Due Process category because then people know it's
Hmm.
in there. But yeah, the game has started now, I think, and we will get into the game.
Hmm.
And coming into the second match, hopefully DPB have learned and adapted some of the strategies to counter Nakudama.
Mm-hmm.
Going into bank first, with Nakudama on the defending side and DPB on the attacking side. Let me change the source. It's hard doing this and prodding at the same time, so it's like I gotta do transitions.
I couldn't imagine. That must be so difficult.
I gotta add who won. Let's see.
Prodding is one of those things where like you hear it and you think like, oh yeah, that's easy. I could do that. It's like climbing Mount Everest. You know, you're like, yeah, so many people have done it, right? I can do that. It's very difficult. Much more goes into it than you think.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what this is. It's like a 6. They're holding. They're looking to hold like a security teller to hold the lobby.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's enough drawings to like really understand what they're doing. But it looks like the attacking team is looking for that Lone's red door, and I hate this Lone red door. Like if you look outside of the Lone's red door, the ramp blocks off the way to get through, inside the wall. But so you have to go kind of like outside the wall. It's so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Bank is already a map where you have to walk miles to get to the green door here.
Yep.
Mm.
What do you think about maybe making these railings jumpable? Like, what do you think about that? Because I know some of them that would save a little bit of time and make them a little traversal. But would you be in favor of that or?
I think I think that would do this. I think that would do probably the same, but a lot better for attackers. I think that the map devs made those railings so that you can't just. So you know you can kind of hold this red door knowing that they can only come from one side. But if you have to jump on these railings, it might be detrimental enough to like disposition an attacker to get through. But I don't know. I'm not sure what the map devs have in mind here. But the round is starting, and they're keeping Kamina in that vault. But the vault door is still open here, as they're kind of expecting an entrance blow. As you can see, all 5 defending teams or members are holding that lobby with multiple angles. But once that lone gets blown, I'm interested to see how Baker and Default are able to get out of that teller or hold that teller.
Look, they're just like holding lobby from all these other angles, and then Frosty's gonna pick this loans, try to give some information, see when they're in, see what their progress to getting down into lobby is, so that Default, Baker, Health, Kamina can all watch that lobby, try to keep the attackers out.
Yeah, loans blows come out, and all 5 attacking members in that hall now as they start to swarm around that teller. Nomad holding that flank as the rest of the team have that shotgun, and they barbed off that teller door, so this is going to be hard to push. They should be coming out into that open area to try and take this. Frosty able to get the first pick onto Racism Incarnate. Default able to kill Sweetie. Yeah, with the LS.
Mm-hmm. Through the door. Frosty with another pick onto Rachel. It's just down to midship and Nomad against all 5 defenders. So Frosty rushing up to midship, picks up midship. He's picked up by Nomad. Nomad just against 4 defenders. Health's gonna rush up with the knack, picks off Nomad.
Another strong round for Nakudama there as they take it 1-0 in his second game.
Yeah, once again, some very good picks and positioning from Frosty with the 3K. He was able to play around here. He started here loans. Once he saw that they were pushing up pretty quickly, then he retreated to lobby, and then he got a pick, and then didn't get picked off, and so he kept waiting until the attackers had pulled their focus away from lobby to go towards teller, and then as soon as they tried to go towards teller, then he would peek out and try to get a pick, and it actually worked for him 3 times. So it was very good from Frosty.
Yeah, excellent work from Nakudama. Able to keep 4 players alive by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it 3? I think it's 4. But
I think it was 4.
Yeah, a lot of good. That's good eco for, especially on defense, because you need those weapons, especially the different types of weapons for different situations. Especially on the first round, where you have 2 more maps. Could be long range, could be short range. Who knows? Map devs change everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is one of the maps that we were talking about earlier, or just one of those type of maps where reception is, you can play that very aggressively. So you can, hold a position here with this down this long angle, because the truck is actually pointing out this way. And then once the attackers push up, maybe get a pick, maybe get a hit, you can pull back and try to play it again down this lane. So you can just try to kite out the attackers, get some chip damage in, so that once the attackers get down to sight, they're already low, and you can pick them off easily.
Yeah. And on this kill house, you can tell it's very vertically aligned. Super vertical. And with a courtyard included at the bottom as well, it makes it very interesting to see how the lockers and hall sort of play out. Lockers is already vertical as well, and super just long lines of sight, it seems like. Especially with that lockers straight through courtyard. It's going to be interesting how this bomb play works.
This kind of reminds me of that one dome map that's very long. The whole map doesn't even fit on the screen. Like it's got a beach and a base at the bottom, and like a pit all the way at the top, and like a castle on the middle left side, where it's just very long, and the attackers have to pick where they're gonna go in to clear the map.
Yeah.
It's that kind of similar map design.
Baker clacking that hallway door, even though his team is watching out that reception, and they know they're not coming through that right side. And it looks like DPP know about these spawn peaks, and like they decided to take the very long route and be like, okay, we're gonna take the easy route to take green instead of trying to contest it. Rather than just throwing a smoke and just calling quits, they just want to use that time and push through that green. Frosty with that tub as well. We'll see if he's able to get kills. Oh gosh. Oh no, they didn't check him.
He was able to get a bit of damage on the racism, but was picked off.
Yep.
That's a good rat spot.
He should at least get one kill there though. They did not see him. Racism gets taken out by a molly by Kamina, and then Kamina gets taken out by Rachel, who's able to get through that molly, but Baker trades him out. As now 3v3 situation here, and the hallway play seems to be favored for the attackers. Another molly comes out. Attackers taking their time here, or they're forced to take their time as these mollies are stifling this push, and all flashes are used now.
All three defenders have pulled back to the site, and they're now looking for wall banks. It looks like DPL is going to look across this courtyard with his sniper, and then Baker and Health are going to hold this green door, but the attackers are unable to get into sight and defuse.
Yeah. I mean, attackers seem like they're confused. They have no flashes, so they're just going to go in raw. Defense have no utility, similarly. Default gets taken out. Nomad gets taken out. Baker gets taken out. Mischief now 1v1. Perfect trades all around. Similar
What
HPs.
Wow, that was quite exciting, really. What a series of trades there. Nomad picked up Default, and then Baker picked up Nomad. Mischief picked up Baker. Health picked up Bishop, and then just a series of trades that makes it look very exciting.
Yeah, and then unluckily the attacker forced the defender into the kitchen, but he started wallbanging, and then the defender pushed out and took out the last guy, and makes it 2-0 for Nakudama.
Also, another thing I realized as I was going at that map, since there's windows out of kitchen, if the attackers, or the defenders were really very aggressive, they could peek out both sides of the map and force the attackers to fight them through windows if they were super aggressive. We're on a C-store now.
C-store. Last round of the half, so... Or split, I mean.
Yep.
And defenders, or attackers eco that round, so they do have double charge, and they look like they're trying to get that storage wall charge into fridge is maybe going. I mean, it is a very early plan.
Might evolve with more input, but as of yet, it looks like that's what they're planning to do.
Interesting plan. It does give defenders a lot of space to hold, especially on that bottom storefront area. They can just hide behind the shelvings and the pillars. But this gives the attackers bomb side, which is a side you really want because it's free cover and you get free defuse time, and could be quite dangerous for defenders if they let them get behind that bomb.
Looks like one minor flaw of this plan is that the defenders, while they get to fridges, are going to have to go out this funnel right here. So the defenders can hold crossfires under there. They have that teller hole, teller door. They have this freezer, this long row of freezers that they can use, and they have all this storefront cover down here. So might become quite the choke point. for attackers if they go through that plan.
Yep, and as the round starts, it seems like the defenders are under the impression that they will sort of blow storefront, and these barbs will be kind of counteractive to them, or to the defenders, I think, because if they need to rotate, those barbs will be slowing them. And yeah, they do have that bar for that freezer in case they do blow that, and I'm sure they understand they have double charge, so defenders are trying to get ready and set up for that. And Frosty, loving those shotguns, he goes for the auto shotgun.
Third
He
round,
upgraded.
Yeah, definitely looks like the defenders were preparing for a storefront arcade blow. I was going for wall bangs onto the red door. Sweetie's in, Racism's in, Bishop's in. They're all funneling in.
They're walking.
Hit lights.
Oh, Rachel's running, but
They've hit lights now. Baker going for wall bangs.
oh.
They clacked it. Hell sucking. Ooh. Baker gets picked off. Kamina is gonna molly that. Maybe he's gonna pick from that.
Huge
Quite
molly.
some damage. Yeah. Oh, ooh. Actually, all the attackers are actually quite high health right now. Frosty picks up Sweet Tea. Gets picked up by Rachel. Health's in bathrooms now. 3v3. Racism's on bomb. And there goes the flash. Kamina's gonna Nomad. Picks up Nomad. Health goes around, flanks, picks up Rachel. And Racism's been picked off by the rest. I don't really know what happened there. I think it was just little 1v1 altercations. Like Frosty picking off Uti back there. Kamina picking off Nomad in storefront. And, those little things added up to the push falling apart.
Yeah.
But it started off strong.
I kind of dislike how they played, or how the attackers played it, because you have a flank watch and that freezer, and you don't need to play so close to the freezer door. A lot of things that good teams do is they keep track of what power weapons the other team has, because it's likely people will bring power weapons, especially if it's the last round. And if they know that there's an auto shotgun in play, one core general principle that every player should know on the attacking team is like, okay, keep your distance. Because the auto shotgun run out is such a highlight play. It's just, you keep in mind that there's a 3-tile distance you need to maintain at each doorway, because the auto shotguns will just run through that door, start spraying every single person they see. And that's a common theme with people who play auto shotgun, is they're really good at just timing their push to where the attackers are the closest to them, and that seemed to happen to there, where Frosty was able to kill that person close to the door, and then he's able to push all the way straight back into the wall charge. And yeah, and the attackers just seemed super uncertain. They pushed in, and then they all got stuck because of that molly, and that really hindered their flow there. They got stuck in those corners in the fridges so long that it felt like they just let the defenders push into them.
This is an interesting play. It looks like their Nakudama on attack is going to go for free in a manager, and then they're going to split through accounting and security. They're going to door out of security into vault, and this half of the attackers is going to go the button. So they're going to kind of split out from free. Pretty clear on the map. We've got a smoke here in lobby. They've got a door charge on the security. Got a frag for vault, some flashes in several places. And the defenders seem to be in pretty good positions for this plan in all the places that they're not going to be fighting the attackers.
They kick open that red door?
I think they might have shotgunned it, yeah. Yeah, they shotgunned it. They might be going for a spawn peek. I wonder if the attackers would divert their plan if they knew that. Probably not, looks like.
Yeah, it's
all the
interesting question. Like, if you see the red doors open, do you switch your entire plan that you just spent 2 minutes making to make use of this information? It's like, okay, well, maybe it's good that they opened the door for us because we're attackers. That's another entry point. But do we want to change our entire plan that we just spent 3 minutes just making?
I think they made the right call. The defenders were prepared for that loans door, so going there wouldn't have helped very much, especially with the util they had. The door charge and the clacker wouldn't have been very much useful.
Yeah, attackers making their way into accounting 5-man as they take down Rachel. No trade comes in from the defending team. And Tigers kicking every door, and they're going in fast. Nomad gets taken out, but he does take out Kamina before his last breath. Vault gets hit. I dislike this Vault play. Frosty hit the button way too early. Defenders are able to hide in Vault now. They have the head glitch. When you could have just kept it closed, and defenders would be stuck in that lobby area where you could be abusing the no cover. Attackers coming through that security. Use a door charge on the security door, and they take out Racism quickly. Sweet Tea able to get a trade onto default though with the KR. It's a 1v3 situation. He's going to hit the button. Or no, never mind. He's going into Teller now. He takes out Frosty, but he gets taken out by Baker. Now 4-0 for Nakudama.
Yeah. Interesting to see how Racism was there with the Ingmar peeking out here. I wasn't expecting that security play. So when the door was breached and they rushed out super quick, they just picked them off instantly with this head peeking up behind the bomb. Very rough, I'd say. I don't even know what went on with the defenders. Sweet Tea picks off 3 actually. I just noticed that. Got a nice 3-piece.
Yeah. And what DPB is making, like they are putting effort in, and it's showing. They're able to get kills, but just not enough to be round changing. It feels like they need to start winning some duels, I feel like, to even get a chance of getting chances to win a round, because Nakudama are consistently getting 3 or more players alive by the end of the round, and that's a problem. You either need to start changing it up drastically on defense, or changing it up I mean, your defense is the only time you have now, because you already lost the first 3 attack rounds, and now you're on 6 rounds of defense, so you guys find out something that works here.
I don't know if it's in the planning or the positioning or the gunplay or the util, but whatever it is, they need to work on it to win some more rounds to try to get the tie or the win.
Yeah. My favorite copy pasta would be I forgot how it goes, but something like, yeah, they just need to work on communication, aim. It's just like they just started listing like the whole list of things, but yeah, other than that, they're good or something like that.
It's beautiful. Just like an entire list of everything you can do.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. I don't know. It looks like they might go for that aggressive peak. They have a little bit of marker there, but I don't know if that's indicating something or if that's just scribbles.
Well, obviously on their defense they peaked at reception, so obviously they're going to be a little bit scared if the defense is doing it. But DBB doing what they do best, and looks like they're going to give up a lot of land here, as they have 3 barbs placed, and probably all 3 of them are pre-placed and not late barbs, I assume.
Yeah, it looks like DBB is going to play this hard around these barbs. They're going to try to play this bottom half of the map, maybe give up a little bit of the top map, maybe play a little bit aggressive towards the beginning, then fall back towards this bottom half, and then just stick around here and play this to not let up any ground, because they don't have very much once they get past here.
Yeah. Attackers making their way to the left side, similar to how DPP did it. I think they want to... Oh, actually, you're going to blow into kitchen here.
Interesting. I haven't seen many blows in this map very often.
Wallbangs coming out.
Wow. That's a pretty good wallbang spot right there. How much risk of getting wallbang back?
These wallbangs are going to completely destroy Nakudama. They'll do something here. But UAV def, that's the second UAV def I've seen in this series.
Wow. Frosty and Helm, both low, very low, and Default, Common, and Baker also a little bit low from these wallbangs. A lot of wallbangs. Very good use of that.
Even with the wallbangs, the defenders still have taken a lot more damage than the attackers have. And oh, Sweet Tea with the flank, able to get 2, but gets traded out by default. And interesting enough, they used 2 mollies at the same time onto that barb. So now defenders have to deal with no mollies, and attackers still have a flash.
They don't get UAV'd again.
Nomad's gonna die to UAV. You can already tell.
Oh, Racism picks up onto the wall. Frosty pushes up, gets Nomad, just down a ratio with the mop. I'd be interested to see if he wins this. Picks off 1. He actually kind of stands a chance, maybe, if he can.
Oh.
Got 11 bullets. to be a hard one to take. Nice stall for time. Cross is gonna push up. Unsure about what to do here. Rachel's on bomb. Wow! Good play from Rachel.
Let's go.
Touching up the 1v2. Yeah, good. That's very good from DPB. They played their wall banks. They played how they were set up for. It worked quite well with the plan that Nakudama went for.
Yeah, I mean, despite the hiccups early, the UAV and the double molly placement, yeah, Rachel was able to bring it back from the grave. I think it was it 1v3? It was 1v2.
I think it was 1v2, yeah. Lots
Awesome.
of wall bangs, and Sweet Tea was able to go pick off 2, and they got picked off. So I think it was a worthwhile trade there.
Yeah. And as we move into the next round, and DPB now has one on the board with Nakudama with 4, and we're moving into the last round of the half on C-Store, and this map is quite interesting. You saw the double charge play, but I'm pretty sure Nakudama, they only have 1 charge, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they blew, or did they eco bank?
If I remember, they did a door charge out of security.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, they have wall charge now, and they cannot do the same play DPB did. So let's see what they will do on this map. Probably likely just a wall charge for storefront. Try and take out over that huge area that contains the bomb. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of complication to deal with. Teller hole is going to be probably a main point of contention. Freezer is a good area for defenders to hide and just play long angles onto bomb. But we will see as DPB, they get their first round. How are they going to keep it going?
They have a wall charge. Looks like they're often going to do that on storefront. I don't know if they're going to have everyone push storefront. Maybe just park Saber outside and go free, which is always an option to try to take that arcade room and then have this kind of half of the map to push out the rest. Or they might just do storefront. But I think it's kind of risky because they can try to pinch you with these long angles.
Yeah. And it seems like Nakudama are trying to get that wall charge on the right side of storefront, and it's understandable because it will break that barb near arcade. But if defenders are vigilant and they know about that wall charge that breaks the barb, they could just put it inside arcade a little more, and it'd be somewhat the same. But we will see. As defenders have spawned in now, they got the flares going. But I'm pretty sure they do know they have a wall charge. They have outlined a wall charge they think will happen. But that barb arcade doesn't even get placed here, as defenders doesn't seem like they want to place it.
Either they didn't bring it, or no, it looks like they just moved it to a different spot. Maybe anticipating that it might get blown up by a charge. I don't know how they would have anticipated that. I don't know.
Frosty pushing green by himself. And there's no one there. DPB just giving up so much free area. They just like to play for wall bangs. Charge goes out. They have
now
arcade.
They're clearing arcade. Yeah, they've secured their little section of the map. They've got this little bit of arcade, office, and storefront. So
yeah, Sweet Tea gets taken out by default here off the opening pick.
The pickups are here.
Frosty gets taken out by Nomad.
Yeah.
Nomad gets another one onto Camino.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
You can go.
Now we got Racism and Nomad going together towards Fridges. Rachel on that teller hole. Health's already past him. He's going to push up the Fridges, gets picked off by the dynamic duo, and now it's just down to default in office with the Saber, and Midships in bathroom with the auto shotty. Looks like default's just going to save, maybe go for Clacker. Actually, it's last round, so it'd be hard for him to win this, but maybe see what we can do about this. He's low health. He only has, looks like, 48. So, a few shots from a defender will pick him off. You can go ahead. Racism gets hit. Looks like Racism and Nomad are about half health, and the rest are full health. Default picks off Rachel. That's down to 1v3. Time is not on time, and default gets picked off. Good job for DPB. DPB played pretty well that map. I think when the attackers try to push up this middle of storefront with the smoke there, the defenders are able to capitalize off that when they're coming out of the smoke with the fog of war and pick off the attackers.
Yeah, there's just huge crosses from defense there, forcing the attackers to look multiple directions, and they just cannot keep up with the pressure.
Yeah.
And that sounds like we're going to dome from the sounds of it. But yeah, new half. DPB will be on defense still, as they start to claw their way back, and they're already doing a lot better than last game. Double times better than last game.
And we saw some vertical maps earlier, but now we've got a sort of a horizontal map where everything is kind of sideways. So it looks like you can push up from beach, or you can push up from jungle or pit. But you're all going the same way towards this section with bomb and obs. So they might go for, either pit or beach to lights. They might try to push up this side, maybe this side. So either of these sides is viable, but I think I generally see pit side more. And you get an 8 here, and you can just kind of rush in, and then you have bomb on that side. So you don't. No, I don't see this side going up as much, especially with this barb here. The defenders can play a close angle and a long angle from obs to try to pick off from that barb. So I would be surprised if they went on that side. I think I often see beach or pit on this map for lights.
I mean, I actually think the jungle blow isn't horrible, because attackers would have to instead just go base, and then you're just stuck in this push up towards the jungle with the ramps, because I don't know, that just seems like a horrible spot for me, because defenders could be playing like anywhere in the bushes behind rocks, and that just really easily countered that spot. I don't know. That's what I feel though. But attackers seem like they are going to do that jungle breach and go straight for that bomb, because you can see bomb from base, and it would be a lot easier to take jungle as well with the long range from beach. And it seems like Nakudama are trying to do that strategy.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. Yeah, that does make quite a bit of sense. So, there's an attack or a defender in jungle, playing down there in the bushes, and then the attackers are having 2 beach and 3 in this jungle push, pushing up simultaneously up to this lane. We got Saber up there at jungle, trying to look for a pick on one of these 2 defenders. Sweet Tea goes into obs, so they're trying to pull away from this section here. Frosty with the nade, maybe you can pick up that barb. Let's see what to do. And barbs gets blown up. The attackers trade off lights. Health picks up Nomad. Midship picks up Frosty, but Baker picks up Sweet Tea. And I got 2 defenders in obs, 1 defender. No, there's 2 defenders left. 2 defenders in obs, 3 attackers in the jungle, and health on beach. That's just down to midship. Midship's in obs and gets picked up by Baker. So good job for the attackers. Did that pretty well.
That was just really bad timing for defenders, because you have health getting 2 picks in pit because this green door in pit is open, and then for some reason defenders want to get aggressive in pit after they hit the lights, which is not very good, because you want to make sure those lights aren't hit in the first place. So why not just watch the pit before they hit the lights? Instead, they get aggressive after the lights are hit, because they are reacting to the event that the lights are hit, instead of being proactive and trying to defend the lights before they're even hit. And that led to a lot of problems, because once they hit those lights, midship couldn't see an obs. No one could see an obs. And that led to everyone else dying late game.
Defenders had a lack of information around where the attackers were going. I also think the defenders shouldn't have pulled away from this spot in ruins. I know the barb got blown up, but they could still hold a crossfire with a short and long angle there, which I think would have helped them a bit, other than just all going in obs, and then the lights got turned off, which kind of hindered them a bit. On the new map though.
New map. But yeah, it seems like DPB are just not. I mean, I think it's 2-5. Yeah, 2-5 now in favor of Nakudama. I don't know. They just need to start stepping it up. Not much I can really say. Um, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're playing a bit better than last game. I definitely give them that, but it's not too much of an improvement from what we saw the previous game. So we have to make some drastic changes if they want to win this set or even just this game in general. They'll have to definitely improve on some things.
I looked at chat. I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I looked at it for a second. I don't know if I want to look at it again. But we will be on factory and wall charge green into wall charge play. It seems like a sort of genesis moment. Wall charging the office. That would be. It gives you half of office if that's good enough. It seems like they want to hit that lights.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think they want to wall charge on
the...
the railings. It seems like not office, or I can't tell.
I don't know. I think they're probably going for office. I think that's what probably would be the smarter play. Maybe they're going towards lights. They're trying to cut across, and it's kind of like separate. This whole wall kind of separates these two halves of the map. So they're trying to cut across it, and just get to lights. What is the thing? This is kind of this interesting hole in the pipeworks over there. Looks like Sweetie's gonna play there.
Yeah, I mean DPB. I don't know. It just feels like they don't have a goal in mind. Like Nomad is looking towards Dock when Rachel's already on Dock. When I don't know. It just looks like they're not crossing correctly. I don't know. I feel like they're looking towards the middle of the map rather than looking out towards the entrances.
Rather than playing like angles and trying to hold across, yeah, I agree that they're just really trying to hold towards the center angle when the attackers aren't even there yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, 4 people in server farm for attacking team right now, and Baker's on that fan. And once they hit that wall charge, they're going to hit lights. Fan will be open. Health is in office. Takes out racism. Now 4v5 situation for the defenders, and looks like they're getting aggressive on the bottom pipe. Frosty gets taken out by Nomad. They're looking for this sneaky spy, and Nomad gets taken out. Gets exterminated. Rachel gets double crossed by Baker. Now 1v4 situation for Sweet Tea, making his way to the wall charge, and there's not much he can do. He has Allegros against a Saber and a bunch of APs. He tested the waters in office and said, "Nope, I'm out." And now he's back in server farm. I'm not trying to see what type of pick he can get. If he can get a kill on default, he can get rid of that Saber. But Nakudama already secured a 6-2 lead. And he does get
Nice.
Sweet Tea does get taken out by Kamina.
Yeah, it was a nice try from him, but with the lights out and with just the Allegros, a 1v4 is kind of out of the question for really anyone.
Yeah, and the problem just keeps reiterating itself. It's like DPB needs to play more aggressive on defense. They're giving too much space for free. Like server farm should never be free. That green door should be barbed all the time. Have someone in server, make them use a flash, and I don't know. Just you need to have those players that are able to test the waters efficiently, hit and run.
Yeah, there's some maps where trying to hold a green isn't as strong. Like the ones I'm talking about are really dome and bank, because these vents are kind of hard to hold, and beach is kind of hard to hold. But especially on factory and C store, you should be holding that green door to make sure that the attackers don't get to walk in without using a flash or at least a nade. Just trying to get some chip or a pick with the barb there can definitely be a good start to the round. Just making them use some of their util, use some of their health to try to get through that obstacle. It can definitely, can be a good start to the round for defenders.
Yeah, and we're on match point now as Nakudama one round away from winning. DBB, they need to. It seems like they are making some plans, and it seems like they're fully expecting a lone or a green push. When Nakudama don't really need to go green, it seems like, but they're still playing for it heavily because that's the only way to get to the button is through that hallway. And auto shotgun in that bathroom will be quite interesting to see if Midship plays it right and doesn't peek a long angle. But yeah, we'll see how Nakudama are able to take this hall.
I guess you could also get the button from entrance. That's definitely a possibility. But
We still have to go to hall though.
Yeah, so this is a choke point here, or not choke point, but expected place for the attackers to be.
I like this because DPP have an objective in mind this time around. It's not just like, okay, play around bomb. And I think Bank does that really well for them. It's like, okay, DPP knows that the objective is button, so let's hold the only areas you can get to button. And I feel like they do that for this map, but they don't do it for other maps where they're just sort of like standing around the bomb and not really focused on holding the areas that go into the bomb. But here, it seems like they are a lot more focused in terms of holding those positions where the chokes are.
Default gets looks like a wall bang on a sweetie for 50. That's not a very good start. But Common gets a little damage off, or gets picked a little bit of damage from maybe racism, maybe sweetie. I don't know. I don't remember who.
Yeah, the attackers are very scared. It seems like they're very scared. They're just waiting. I'm not sure what they're waiting for, but these double barbs are very menacingly. And the hallway, smoke comes down, health is pushing in, flashes in. The auto shotgun able to do a lot of work, kills health, but Nomad gets traded instead. And now they have lobby control. Letting attackers have lobby is dangerous, but Midship able to get another kill on the Baker, and Frosty gets taken out by Rachel as well. Now 2v4 situation, Nakudama in a tight spot. Default still holding a long angle, or now they're switching to stop, and Kamita kills himself with the breach charge. Hello? Now 1v4 situation, Default with the Saber. Can the defending team... Oh, you don't even need to save this because this is the last round, so... Of the split, at least.
Go for some kills, get some practice.
Yeah. This is a aim train now. Oh!
Racism runs out, they got the AK, and then runs back. It's like they're just toying with him at this point. Not much he can do. He's got two angles he has to defend with the Saber.
Yeah, he's not even playing to win. He's just playing for kills. Even Racism was just trolling him. He just ran into the hall and he ran back out.
He's a pretty good player. He mainly plays casuals, but he is a very good player.
Casual players are different, I must admit. But DPB, 3-6.
Much better than last game. I don't know what they've done, but they're starting to take a few more rounds back.
Or maybe Nakudama's playing worse. Who knows? I can't really tell because it feels like it's a lot of it's map dependent, especially for DPB. They can hold objectives that are like directly in their face, but when they see a bomb in like an open area, they immediately lose their sense of direction. It feels like.
Yeah. But as soon as they can lock on to what's going to get them the win, when they can find the win condition, they can play that much better. But they have to really identify that and stick to playing on that.
Yeah, moving on to this dome, new split, and now DPB, long awaited, back on the attacking side. And previously, they had, when they first attacked, they didn't do so well. So we'll see what changes they can make on this attacking side, and how Nakudama is going to adjust to playing on defense.
Yep. They've already seen these maps, so they can anticipate some of the things that the attackers might do to try to win. But they secured the tie, so they just need to win one round, which I don't think will be super difficult. Now that they've seen these maps already, they know what to expect. They know what what breach points are more viable than others, where the defenders might be, or where good positions to play as a defender would be. I guess they might have the advantage here.
Yeah, it looks like some of the similar barbs were coming out, and that top ruin stairs is coming out as well. It doesn't look like anything special is gonna happen this round. It seems like it just looks like DPB just going for a normal pit play and split with Beach, I guess. But defense doesn't look like they're doing anything special either. I don't know. This just doesn't seem that entertaining to talk about.
Looks like the health's gonna rat here in base, and maybe Frosty too, so that's maybe the only interesting thing I see different. Actually, that kind of changes the plan quite a bit. They're gonna rat here in base, and it's gonna be common up here, and then these two boarding pit side. So, quite a different plan.
Yeah, Health has a good spot, but I think Frosty was trying to hide in this rat spot at the top of base, but he realizes like not that much cover actually. Or he's going back on it, or maybe he is trying to do it, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's that much cover. I don't know. Maybe it's better than it looks. It look very good though.
Yeah. Well, once that door charge goes out in pit, default will be probably in a tight position. I'm not sure, but they're doing a one-man pit.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all I had to say.
No worries. Yeah, the rat spot gets found out pretty quickly. I was gonna say that if the smoke maybe it might help Frosty get out of his rat spot.
Unfortunately, it wasn't close to Frosty. It seems like. Oh, Saber across the map kills default the Mopper. 3v5 situation for Nakudama actually in DPB. Strong attack so far. Health gets out of his rat spot, and Nomad wins that fight as well. Dangerous Molly just killed 2 players onto DPB, and maybe this should be a time we okay. Let's take the big area instead of pushing to that obs. But Sweet Tea taking the fight nevertheless. TikTok coming up but gets traded by Baker. 2v1 situation now. Baker is very low health here, as the Black Tar and Saber player make their way up. Oh, Nomad gets shot at, and now he's at 1 HP. He's able to. Nomad gets taken out again by another volley of shots from Baker. And Baker clutches a 1v3 as default runs in with the Saber and gets taken out behind the bomb. Awesome work.
Oh, I'm kind of speechless what just happened there. They had a flash. There was 3 of them left, or 2 of them left. Nomad and Rachel, and Baker's able to clean them both up. So
that makes it, I guess, 2-0 Nakudama.
Yep. They'll be advancing to fight an upper league team.
Yep. And later today we'll get confirmation on who Gnomes chooses.
For the next bout.
Yep. And I think the OC versus Mollusk Munchers are still going on. 4-2 right now for Mollusk Munchers.
I think the first game was it I think OC won. Was that like 7-2, 7-1? I think that's what I saw on the sidebar. Something about that. Did you happen to catch the score?
7. I don't. Let me see. I think I can check real quick. It seems like it was 7-1 for OC actually for the first game. So this is actually interesting because Mollusk Munchers are 4-2 right now. So they've stepped up somehow and making it a close game. But I'm going to start rating the main channel soon after the delay catches up. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else to mention really.
No.
So you got something. But yeah, if I wonder how Nakudama's going to go against the upper league team. It's probably most likely going to be. Personally, I think Nakudama's worse than OC, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. Just a little bit worse. But
it can go either way, really. It kind of depends on the day. I've seen Nakudama beat OC. I've seen OC beat Nakudama. It kind of depends on the day. Depends on the lineup. If the players are ready up or not. I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, we'll see y'all later. And if you guys want to rewatch the VOD, it'll probably be on YouTube by next week. Otherwise, you guys can catch the main channel stream as that game is still going on. And we'll see you later.